So, if you're watching this video, you're probably watching it on a phone or a tablet or a laptop or a desktop or a smart TV. And if you're watching it on any of those devices, the chances are you are getting unsolicited adverts coming on, because that's the way that creators make a little bit of money and the way that advertisers get the message across. But you're getting information bombarded at you that you're not asking for. And that information isn't impartial, it never is. People who advertise and spend money on advertising do it for a reason. They want to push their ideology or their product. And does this information overload affect your feelings, affect your stress? We're getting all this information coming to us that we didn't want. Adverts come on YouTube and you skip through them very, very quickly because you didn't ask for it. And that's the thing with like the internet and media and social media, and to some extent mainstream media, is that you are getting information that you haven't gone out and looked for. There was a day not long ago when if you wanted information, you wanted specific information about specific subjects, so you went out and you looked for them. Adverts came on the TV, yeah, but they also came in magazines and newspapers, and it was your choice whether you watched them, whether you read them or not. But nowadays, it's unsolicited, it's there, it's quite unavoidable. And does that overload of information lead to stress? Does it lead to forming of opinions? I think unquestionably this does affect us. It does form opinions. It can cause us stress. We're getting it 24/7. But how do we avoid it? Because it's there. It's on TV, it's online, it's even on billboards as you drive past, it's on shop windows, and a lot of it is subliminal. You don't even realise you're taking in information. It's all very, very clever, and it's all quite insidious, and it's all a little bit sinister. But it's part of the 21st century, so we're going to have to live with it. But how do we live with it? How do we attempt to stop it influencing us? Because it doesn't enrich my life. I'm sure it doesn't enrich your life either. What do we do about it? I think I probably spend more time online than most, watching YouTube, because I'm on YouTube a lot. I'm editing, monitoring how my content is doing. So I think I'm on there a bit more than most people. But I do manage to manage what goes in and what is retained in my head. And I think that is due in a great part to the kind of lifestyle I live and the kind of lifestyle I live inside my own head. I have an whole outlook on life that lets me retain information that I think is useful and interesting and even trivial. And it also allows me to reject information that I think is harmful, insidious, boring, not of any interest to me, and keep a clear mind. Because when you do retain a lot of information that's coming at you, you get videos, quite offensive videos, quite startling videos, quite gratuitous videos. You get information. You don't know whether it's true, whether it's deep fake images you see, or disinformation off completely viable sources like our mainstream media. And you get it and you can't help but retain it. It gets in there like a mind worm and just stays there in your mind. But I think you can kind of, not train your mind, because a certain lifestyle just allows your mind to put up its own firewalls and its own filters. Your lifestyle because you're living slowly and you're living simply and you're living with less clutter, that clutter in your physical being turns into less clutter in your mind. It's just an extension. You cannot live a simple life with less materialist attitude, less consumerism, less stuff around you. You can't do that and then have a mind full of clutter and bad thoughts. It just doesn't work because the two are symbiotic. You can't have one working not in tandem with the other. So this simple, quiet, slow life, just appreciating the world around you and concentrating on that, trying to not get it dragged into going on Amazon and wondering what you can spend your money on next. That over time and quite naturally just leads you to having a quieter mind. And that's where I am. So that's it if you think about it. If you live a simpler life with less complications, less interactions, less information overload, your mind, just like the food you eat, it's your choice. It becomes your choice. And not only does it become your choice, but it becomes almost natural, almost something you don't need to think about. If you eat a certain way, you don't go into a supermarket and pick things up and head for the aisle that stocks the stuff that you don't want. You don't even think about it. You walk past the aisle. I don't eat chocolates and biscuits and things like that. So I walk past the aisle that stocks those without even thinking about it. I can't eat spicy food anymore. So I walk past the aisle. I don't know I'm doing it. It's just that my mind tells me that there's no point going down there. It's a waste of energy. So I just walk past. And I think that's, if you live a slow and calm and peaceful life, I think that's what happens in your mind. Your mind walks past things that aren't relevant to you. Just another benefit of slow living. We can live in peace in our body and we can live in peace in our mind. We don't have to come across as some kind of shamanic figure, some kind of weirdo that's standing outside the rest of community. We don't. Just interact like everybody else. At work, at play, with our families, on our own. It's just that we're at peace. We are actually concentrating our mind naturally. Like mine is now. Naturally, I stand here now and I cannot help my mind naturally just lifts into the tree branches above me where there are birds, the grass swaying beyond it, the crunch of my feet on the path, and it naturally goes to that, and it's something I can't avoid. It's not something I do consciously, and I think that's a good place to be. Information, bad information, is so dangerous, especially to the young, you need a certain amount of cynicism, don't you? And I think cynicism comes with years. And I think for a lot of younger people, I've been there, you've been there, we've all been there, younger people get bombarded with information. And because the minds are young and yet not filled up with information, there's always a place for it to go. A new thought, not something you've already thought about 1,000 times. Something new, where you think, oh, what about that? That opinion must be right. I will follow that doctrine. And then you get cynical at old age, or older age. And then you start thinking, it's all bullshit this, isn't it? I just want to be me. I just want to live my life. I just want people to butt out. Stop telling me what I should think and what I should buy, what I should eat, what I should drink, what I should appreciate in the world around me. Nobody's got a right to do that, have they? Have they? Like I've said before, it's not a change of life, it's just a change of lifestyle. But it makes all the difference. Nobody. Man with a dog behind me. And that's it. Just us in the landscape. And it's fabulous. And the world's fabulous. And you're fabulous. And I'm fabulous. We're all fabulous. And we will be fabulous on the flip. So peace and love.